G'day everyone, Artist Wayne here, doing something you rarely ever see me do, and that's work. Welcome to Iga Warta, where Jacqui and I would get to experience the wonderful Adnyamathanha Aboriginal culture. But that's certainly not all we get up to in this episode. Wife Jacqui and I also visit the Arkaroola Wilderness Sanctuary for the adventure of a lifetime. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Ram Van Man episode 29. On what was another cracker day here in the Flinders Ranges, Jacqui and I left the former coal mining town of Leigh Creek. We had spent a fantastic week exploring places like Copley, Farina and Lyndhurst, where we caught up with the famous Taukalf, who I'm looking forward to doing a portrait of, so keep an eye out for that one. We managed to catch up on all our washing and filled the caravan with water, because that's something that's hard to get here in the Flinders. Fortunately for us, Leigh Creek has a desalination plant and a fantastic food land, so Jacqui and I were all stocked up for the next couple of weeks. So here we were, Jacqui and I, travelling the 60 kilometres from Leigh Creek to Iga Warta for a unique opportunity to experience the Adnyamathanha Aboriginal culture. The Adnyamathanha people of the Northern Flinders Ranges are made up of different clans, which are better understood today as family groups, but have always lived together as Adnyamathanha, and of course have a deep connection with the land here in the Flinders Ranges. To commemorate the birthplace of Gertrude Johnson here at Fink Creek, 1st of the 1st, 1919. Recent archaeological evidence identifies that the Adnyamathanha people have lived in the region for at least 49,000 years. And like most other First Nations groups, the Adnyamathanha people were pushed off their land by the European pastoralist settlers in the mid to late 1800s, leading to many conflicts. Now, when Jacqui and I arrived at Iga Warta, we were promptly told by Terry, the owner, to go and set up and then join everyone for a birthday feast. How fortuitous for us! Yes, we were made to feel welcome as we celebrated Terry's wife, Josephine's birthday. And after a delicious lunch, that's when I helped out Terry's young working crew. Audrey, Peter and Peppy from France and Kiko from Hong Kong. All four of them were travelling around beautiful Australia on a working scheme. And good on them, I say. But as far as I'm concerned, this working gig doesn't really agree with me. And I went to bed that night completely knackered. Anyway, tomorrow was a new day, and we were gearing ourselves up to explore, because tomorrow Terry was taking us on a cultural tour. So the next morning, Jacqui and I began exploring with a lovely morning walk. Beautiful country out here, just glorious. There's a lovely lookout which takes in all of Iga Warta, which Jacqui and I were planning to visit for sunset. But now it was time to drive the bus. Yes, we had the most fantastic bus driver on this cultural tour, where Terence took us to Nepabunna Mission, which was established by the United Aborigines Mission in 1931, the place where Terry was born and grew up in. We also visited the tree his grandfather was born under, and an old homestead he was planning to renovate and then provide accommodation for guests. He certainly had his work cut out for him, which is why it was great to see the Young International Working Party helping him out. When I spoke to Peter, a school teacher from France who had come to Australia, he told me he didn't want to travel as a tourist. He preferred to visit beautiful places like Iga Warta and help out. That way he could learn new work skills whilst helping out remote communities like Iga Warta, which incidentally has its own fantastic history museum. So needless to say, we all learned a lot. Well, it's our last day here at beautiful Iga Warta. I've been doing a bit of roofing, bus driving, timber cutting. It's been fantastic.
Guttering.
Been fantastic. We've learned a huge amount from Terry, and we've had a wonderful stay here. It's absolutely gorgeous. As we walk up to the hill, the top of the hill, and have a look at the range as the sun goes down. It's always great hearing someone's story firsthand. And our day spent with Terry on his cultural tour was a memorable one. That evening, Jacqui and I visited the Iga Warta lookout for a spectacular sunset, and then we all sat around the fire singing songs with Terry and Josephine and all the guests that were visiting Iga Warta that evening.
My water, it's rumbling, it's tumbling. Oh, my water, it's rumbling like a big bass drum.
The next day we were off early, trying to get a head start before the rains came. Here in the Flinders, you do not want to get caught in a storm because the dirt roads can become dangerously slippery. Well, Jacqui and I had a fantastic stay at Iga Warta. We felt so welcomed by Terence and Josephine, and I did quite a lot of work, so I'm looking forward to having a rest now as we travel through the beautiful Gammon National Park. And we are heading to Arkaroola, and it's overcast. We're trying to beat the rain. Apparently it's going to rain today, so it's quite cool, but not too cold, and it's absolutely spectacular. Jacqui and I did well staying ahead of all the rain as we passed through some spectacular countryside. And seeing this beautiful landscape with the ominous dark clouds above was a real treat. However, it wasn't all smooth sailing. When we pulled over to check out the beautiful Gammon Ranges, we took the opportunity to make sure everything was okay inside the van. Well, we just checked in the caravan, and lucky I did, because we've got to do some repairs. It's blowing a gale now. Holy dooly!
Oh, look at the dust.
So all the screws came out of this, out of our leg rest. But it's an easy fix. There we go, all done, all fixed. Off to Arkaroola. The rains are in. Fortunately for Jacqui and I, we managed to stay ahead of the heavy downpour, and before we knew it, we arrived safe and sound in the Arkaroola Wilderness Sanctuary. On this beautiful overcast day, you don't see many of these in the Flinders Ranges. So Jacqui and I promptly booked ourselves in and then headed over to the other side of Arkaroola village to the caravan park and found the spot that would be our home for the next week or so. And wouldn't you know it, the sun came out to greet us. Arkaroola, once known as Mount Painter country, was dry, rugged land, very challenging to the sheep grazing efforts in the 1850s onwards. By 1930, the country was afflicted with feral vermin like rabbits, dingoes, wild camels and goats, and most pastoral leases had been abandoned. In 1936, the pioneering Greenwood family of Mount Searle were offered the leasehold, providing they rid the land of vermin. In 1937, the Greenwood lease officially became Arkaroola. So what can you get up to in this spectacular but harsh landscape? Well, there's lots. But first, I needed to do more maintenance. Well, yesterday all the screws fell out of that. Took a year for that to happen. But today I need to do a little maintenance. I've got to work under the sink and a couple of other little things to tighten up. It's always important to do maintenance. So here we go. We've got some items that are clearly fallen out. It's time to find where they go and put it all back together. Just need a spanner. Oh, do you mind? More jobs, more jobs. Split pin in the jockey wheel because yesterday that wire went into my thumb. Ouch. Beautiful. Now we could explore. We're definitely on the road less travelled here on this animal track. Only the alpha males take it. And the flies, they're bloody terrible. Everywhere you stop to have a look around here in Arkaroola, the scenery is just amazing. After a bit of rain yesterday, today is a splendid day. It's absolutely gorgeous here in Arkaroola. Rem Van Man. There's a lot to do here, a lot to do, and it's so majestic. Yes, with a bar and restaurant, shop and service station, caravan park and bush camping, Arkaroola has it all. And it's here that you can quietly observe the rare yellow-footed rock wallabies being fed each evening at 5:30.
Hey, how you doing, mate? You want your food? Come on. Hey, buddy.
These super rare yellow-footed rock wallabies, being the most famous of Arkaroola's inhabitants, can be observed among the steep rocky gorges and creeks. And their numbers are steadily growing here in the Arkaroola Wilderness Sanctuary. Each and every day, Jacqui and I were exploring something new. And even though we were here for 7 days, we only just scratched the surface. And of course, we did a lot of exploring on our e-bikes. It was the perfect way to travel here in Arkaroola. And whilst exploring the old Bollabalana copper smelters, we found a beautiful old brick oven, which now appeared to be used as a wallaby and kangaroo toilet. Go check that out, that stinks.
Oh, poo! Oh, that's...
Get in there!
Get me out!
There's so much rich history here in South Australia.
So
So that structure over there could quite possibly have been a brick oven. And here's a brick here, the bricks were stamped. Captain Thomas Williams Cornelius, a pioneer of the Flinders Ranges and manager of Bolabalana Smelter, died 2nd July 1874, aged only 49 years. So this is a memorial. Looks like a sarcophagus. There are so many beautiful walking, riding and driving trails here in Arkaroola, and the landscape is absolutely amazing. And Arkaroola is also Australia's premier certified dark sky sanctuary, one of only 2 sanctuaries in Australia. So that night Jacqui and I were gearing ourselves up to do some stargazing. And we had dibs on Arkaroola's automatic stargazing chairs they had purchased from NASA. 4th night here in Arkaroola, and we're going to gaze at the stars. 6 kilometres out from the Arkaroola village, our bus took us to Arkaroola's dark sky. And with only 2 NASA stargazing chairs available, well, how lucky were Jacqui and I, because they were ours. And what we were able to see from these chairs was absolutely incredible. It was like we were travelling through space, witnessing galaxies being born and stars exploding, all from the comfort of our automatic NASA stargazing chairs. Incidentally, each chair cost around $70,000, and I'm pretty sure Jacqui broke hers, so now they only have 1 automatic NASA stargazing chair. Anyway, after exploring our star system, Jacqui and I continued exploring Arkaroola over the next couple of days. Now you can see why Arkaroola Wilderness Sanctuary is South Australia's premier ecotourism destination. In 2012, the Arkaroola Protection Act was awarded to Arkaroola, recognising the sanctuary's geological and ecological importance. This is why Jacqui and I could admire rugged mountains, granite peaks, magnificent gorges and waterholes on our bushwalking and bicycle adventures. Rich in history, education and research, Arkaroola is considered to be an area of great natural importance. At Arkaroola, science, education and conservation have always been at the forefront of their mission. Reg and Griselda's Sprigg's vision for tourism to support conservation, education and scientific research continues to this day. And when we arrived back at camp after our day of exploring, we discovered the car rally was in town. So we get ourselves up to check out the cars and have a chat to the participants the following morning. The following day it was a hive of activity. How are you boys?
Pretty good.
Ready for a good day?
Absolutely.
That morning, the boys and girls from the Outback Car Trek were getting ready to leave beautiful Arkaroola. So Jacqui and I had a chat to a few of the participants who come from all over Australia. And we found out that this event donates the funds they raise to the Flying Doctor Service. And since 1990, the Trek has donated $32.5 million to the Royal Flying Doctor Service. What a fantastic cause! This thrilling 8-day rally saw participants embarking on a journey across 4 states, commencing in Bendigo and finishing on the idyllic main beach on the Gold Coast in Queensland. It's our last day in Arkaroola. It's absolutely freezing. from when we got here 7 days ago. It's freezing now, but we are finishing with the same walk we did at the very beginning of our stay. We are walking up there. Yes, that's right, we finished our wonderful stay here in the Arkaroola Wilderness Sanctuary with one hell of a spectacular walk. And as we always do, that afternoon Jacqui and I packed up the caravan and we celebrated a wonderful stay here in Arkaroola with a delicious meal in the Arkaroola restaurant. And of course, as always, I ordered way too much food.
Here we are, this is our last night at Arkaroola, and we've had just such a fabulous time. It's a great place to visit.
Be quiet and cheers. I think I over-ordered.
I think you did as well.
So now I guess all that's left to do is to give our past 2 weeks stay a score.
As soon as we arrived at Iga Warta, we were invited to a very special luncheon because it was Josephine's birthday. And then the next couple of days we spent with Terry learning more about the culture and the people and the land. And it was absolutely wonderful. Highly recommended.
Yes, that's right, Iga Warta was an amazing place. And as far as Arkaroola goes, it's magic, absolutely magic. So if you're ever in the Flinders Ranges, you must visit Arkaroola. So what score are you giving it, Jacqui?
I'm giving it 5 out of 5.
And it's a big 5 out of 5 from me. But that's not all. It's time to unveil something very special. Here's my latest painting. It's a border collie named Dusty, belonging to one of the biggest Ram Van Man fans, Michaela. Young Michaela, the opal hunter. So I'll be sending this off, and hopefully young Michaela might do a little intro for the next video. We'll see what we can do.